Hey everyone, what's going on? Retire on dividends here. Here to make actually a video to talk about PayPal, because as I was covering the distributions and the yields for some of the newer funds, I noticed PYPY, and yes, I'm going to call it PYPY, Corey. I noticed PYPY had a respectable distribution yield, almost like 40%. And I mentioned in the video, I don't, have enough background on PayPal or even AMD, and should I make content on the companies in general? And a lot of comments said yes. So I'm going to start with PayPal and just do a quick review. But here is, as you can see, PYPY from the YieldMax website, right? It'll show the distribution rate of 39.94%. Let's call it 40. They only made one payment. It was 62 cents. And their current NAV is $18, $18.66. Pretty good. When did they launch? Fund inception, September 25th. One of the newer holdings for YieldMax. Same idea. They have a synthetic position, which is, the 595, 5501. Yeah, so, much smaller comparison into Tesla. Obviously, you see the treasuries, you see the calls, and the cash. Not going to get into that, though. Brokers you could buy it at. So now let's get into PayPal. Let's go to the PayPal website. So if I go here, first off, if I go to About on the PayPal website, right? Go back, yeah, all right. So one thing I didn't even know, which I probably should have, is that they own Venmo. Because I immediately, when I thought of PayPal, I'm like, are they really legit anymore? I know they owned, or they were part of eBay, and then they kind of separated. But when you say, "Oh, I'm going to pay you," are you paying people through PayPal? Or are you using Venmo? And everyone says Venmo. I don't use Venmo, but I don't pay people through the phone because I'm still kind of old school. But when I saw right here, see they own Venmo, I'm like, okay, Venmo is it. When anyone talks about paying one another, it's through Venmo, right? Some say Zelle, which I guess is through the bank. But long story short, this is their family of brands. Braintree, ChargeHound, never heard of either one of them. Hyperwallet, Honey, never heard of that either. PayD, Simility, never heard of them. Venmo, obviously. Exum, never heard of that. And Zettle. So I'm not going to lie, I never heard of any of these except Venmo. But the fact that they own Venmo, okay, that's pretty good. And again, PayPal, when you pay for things online via website, it usually, will have an option that you can pay through PayPal. And that's always been the case. So the fact that still exists, to me, again, I'm just looking at this through a lens of my dealings in life. So is PayPal something I use? Is PayPal something that could be around? Or is PayPal old news? So that's what I'm thinking, without even doing any reading. So yes, PayPal is still around in my opinion. Obviously, Venmo is it. Venmo is the current thing that the young kids are using. Even old people are using it. And so far so good. PayPal's good stuff. And I feel safe using PayPal too. So if we go to PayPal, just so you guys know, if you go to the PayPal website, if I go back. So here's the PayPal website. And just so you know, any website in general that has a stock that's public, such as PayPal, there's going to be an option to click on investor relations. And that's where you want to go to do your research. So sometimes it's on the bottom, sometimes it's on the top. So if you see here, again, this is the paypal.com. They have investor relations. So if you click that, this will bring up everything you need as far as, the PayPal stock. So we'll just skim through. PayPal's remained in the forefront digital payments for over 20 years. Pretty impressive. Here's just the latest news for PayPal. They had a Q3 earnings call. That's the last one. Here's the earnings call slide. We'll get into that in a second. Latest quarterly results, obviously. And that's it. That's pretty much it. So, but if you go back to the top and hit this drop down, we already looked at about, there's the news. I didn't want to click the news. But then there's stock information. The stock is currently at $54. 52-week high, it was all the way to 92. 52-week low, 50. So when you buy these YieldMax funds, you have to keep in mind, where is the underlying? Is the underlying at the high? So if you buy PYPY, is PayPal at the high? If it is, that's not so great, unless you're expecting it to continue to rise. If it's at the low, like it is now, it's a good opportunity to buy, right? Some may say PayPal's overpriced though, but you have to do your own research on that, what you guys think. Which reminds me, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. And here's the, crap. It's a very sensitive phone. Stock chart over the past month or so, 2 months, whatever, multiple months. Historical stock quote. You can look up the numbers, investment calculator, a bunch of crap, right? So let's get into the Q3. Oh, I didn't scroll back to the top. The earnings call. So every company that's public, they have earnings. And then they typically have a slide that you can look at. Some are much better visuals than others. Some are just words. And then you kind of just say, no thanks. And some are like this. Some are pretty. This is I'll call it pretty. Released November 1st, 23. Again, I'm just going to highlight a few things. So they had revenue of $7.4 billion. That's growing by 8%. The non-GAAP EPS was $1.30, which grew 20%. Pretty damn good. Total payment volume, $388 billion, which grew 15%. This is good here. They returned $1.4 billion to stockholders through share repurchases in Q3 23 and $5.4 billion on a trailing 12-month basis. And one thing I'm starting to realize is I would much rather, when I'm a YieldMax ETF holder, I would much rather my underlying not pay dividends. I'd rather them, repurchase stocks, because when they repurchase stocks, those stocks are now off the table, right? They no longer exist, which makes my stocks more valuable, which increases the underlying, which would increase the, the ETF. So that's one thing I never really thought about until I was reading this. But so long story short, I'm going to look into possibly eliminating any of the YieldMax funds that do pay a dividend. Okay. Cause I don't get it. I don't take advantage of that. I don't get that dividend. So why would I accept that? Right. Because again, the stock drops when they pay out that dividend. And again, I'm talking about the underlying, not the YieldMax fund. So the fact that PayPal does not pay a dividend, but instead they do repurchase programs, to me is great. Let's see, what else? Non-GAAP EPS now expected to grow by 21% to $4.98. Okay, that's good. He said, she said, we'll see. Third quarter summary, 11% transactional growth. That's what I'd like to see. A lot of other crap, but I'm just highlighting what I think is important. Again, I'll save this in my Discord under the, I guess, other files I think I have. This is just, again, it's just so much easier to read and look at. So I would highly advise you to check this out. When I saw that customers can now add their eligible PayPal and Venmo credit and debit cards to Apple Wallet. That's a good thing. So PayPal has a credit card, Venmo has a credit card. This was pretty cool. I guess I'm kind of out of the loop with this new technology, but you can send and receive customizable gift cards through Venmo. I mean, that's awesome. If you're like me and you're lazy, you always buy people gift cards. My wife yells at me. She says it's not thoughtful to do that. However, I'm sure it's even less thoughtful if I do it through Venmo, but it's that much easier. And I'm sure they get a nice cut for it. Venmo, you could also, to the right, if you look in blue, send a physical Hallmark card. Oh man, love it. I mean, nobody cares about the cards anyway. You go out and you buy a card, $5, right? What do? Oh, they read it and they throw it out. Nobody, it's just such a waste of money. PayPal launches US dollar denominated stable coin. So they launched a coin. Pretty cool. I don't know. Any of you crypto people, can you actually buy the PayPal stable coin? Like on Coinbase or something? I haven't checked. Since 2010, PayPal and Meta, obviously Facebook, have enjoyed a collaboration, various businesses and product areas, and began offering PayPal as a payment option through Facebook. So that obviously is a great, relationship to have. Hopefully that remains. But PayPal everyone uses PayPal. Everybody, like every website at least. This is a lot of like information which you feel free to look at. I just didn't think anything was worth highlighting. Scrolling through. What else we got? Earnings per share. So Q3 22, $1.08 earnings per share. Q3 23, $1.30. Increase, baby, increase. You want to compare the prior quarter from last year. You don't want to compare it to the last quarter because, again, you want to compare it to the same time in the prior year. And they are up. Okay. This is capital allocation, right? So look at that. 4.4 went to share repurchases. A little went to acquisitions, and a little went, it says CAPEX. A lot to read. What else? Nothing there. Oh, I did highlight this. Q3 23 revenue, total revenue, $7.4 billion. And Q3 22, their revenue was at $6.8 billion. So awesome job. I covered the EPS. Free cash flow did go down from Q3 22, so that's always a concern. And I think I saw where the free cash flow, the reason for it, it's further down here somewhere, I think. There it is. So the impact of net outflows for European BNPL receivables. Okay, that decreased, their free cash flow. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at where the hell's free cash flow? September 30. Yeah, they had 1573 net. Okay, so it's net cash provided by operational activities. They had 1.7, and then they had 1.2. Okay, so it's just what they brought in. So nothing there. So that's it. Again, just the Q3 update. Couple other things I'm going to cover. Let me close out the PayPal website. Again, process of elimination here. One website I always go to is Macrotrends.net. So if I go to Macrotrends and I pull up the revenue, I can see year over year their revenue. So if you go back to 2018, 15 billion. So, and then up 17 billion to 21 billion to 25 billion to 27 billion. Okay, and that's year over year. So they're growing revenue. Quarter over quarter, same thing. So you do like to see that, right? And then you can check other things. Like they have literally everything. If you go to assets and liabilities, unfortunately, so many damn pop-ups. And then you go to total assets. Year over year, okay, we had 2020, we had 70 billion, 75 billion, and then 78 billion. But what about their liabilities, like debt and things like that? If we go to that, let's check the last 3 years on that. 50 billion, 54 billion, and 58 billion. And then when you compare the two together, that's where you look at shareholder equity, asset minus liability, and then, net 20 billion, 21 billion, back, to 20 billion. So it's, pretty good. Numbers are pretty good. People also look at EPS. So that's also under revenue. And then you go to EPS. And then year over year, 354. Okay, not looking good from that angle. So 2020, they killed it. 2021, they killed it. 2022, not so much. This year, oh, look at that. June 30th, 22, negative 29 cents per share. Keep an eye out for that. What in the hell happened? 23, not so bad. 70 cents, 92 cents. So they're on their way. They may not hit that 3 range, but we'll see. Again, there's some concerns with every company. So it's not like every company's the golden child. Shares outstanding. If there's share repurchases, I should see this number go down, right? Yeah, so last 4 quarters. Look at the last 4 quarters. 11.57, 11.58, 11.34, 11.14. So shares outstanding are going down due to buybacks. So again, check out Macrotrends.net for any stock information, any historical data. Close that out. Let's see what I got left here. Who are they competing with? So here's the alternatives. I just Googled it under Forbes. Square, okay, that makes sense. Square would be a really good competitor. They're also with YieldMax, and they're more volatile than PayPal, actually. So they may be a better option. I don't know. However, we'll see. A couple others, Payment Depot, Stripe. I heard of Stripe, but that's more for businesses. Helsum, Stacks, Flagship. I don't know. Never heard of half of these, but those are the competitors. I don't think you have much to worry about outside of Square. Now, here's the chart. Why are these stupid pop-ups just relentless? So if we look at the chart, PayPal chart, let's just look at the last 6 months. I mean, ew, right? Pretty bad. But who's really been doing that great, honestly? If we go the 1-year chart, it's down, right? Down massively. Let's go to the 5-year chart. Oh my God, look at the high. Holy crap. Almost over to 80 and then 50, all the way back down to 54. So they look to be at their low. All time they're up, but they're pretty much where they started. So this could be trouble or this could be a deal. Market cap 59 billion. Yeah, I mean, that was the last thing I wanted to cover, because where you get in these YieldMax ETFs is where is important. Because as you know, Tesla's a little more volatile, but where I got in, it was pretty high. So that's why the value of my ETF went down. So, I mean, all in all, my thinking on PayPal is I'm not 100% comfortable in owning PayPal or PP in general. However, it doesn't mean I won't. I just have to keep an eye on it, because this is, a very competitive field. What about Visa and them, right? What about Amazon and all them, Apple Pay, right? So it's just a very competitive field, which obviously makes it volatile, which is what we want to see. But I would not put a lot of money into PP, personally. But let me know what you guys think about PayPal and PP in general. Do you own PP or do you own PayPal, and is it worth it? But yeah, I don't know. I just think there's way too much competition, right? I don't want to have to worry about the underlying, tanking or going out of business, or just, too much competition. I'm here, more so just for the distribution. Like Tesla, in my opinion, they're not going anywhere, right? So I get it. They're going to go up. They're going to go down. So it happens. So, same thing with the other funds that I own. But I have to say, as of right now, no, I will not buy PP. It's not worth it. But let me know what you guys think. I'm still a PayPal fan. I use PayPal all the time. But let me know what you think about PayPal. Let me know what you think about PP. Let me know if you have to go PP. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you want more videos like this, please leave that in the comments. Obviously, if you enjoyed it, click like. Likes do help. They do help the video, I think. I mean, what the hell do I know? But anyway, I'm out of here, guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Later.